fast food managers all across America are fed up. And there seems to be like some sort of unspoken collective uprising because now managers are popping their employees left and right. And I think this all started, I think the straw that broke the camel's back was that story that I talked to you guys about a few weeks ago, involving that McDonald's employee that was filming all of those weird psychotic videos, and eventually she came to her job and stabbed her manager to death. Well, ever since then, there has been a plethora of stories involving fast food violence, and most of these stories involve managers basically airing out their unruly, ghetto, ratchet employees. Okay? Managers all across America, I don't know if they were always doing this or if they just started doing this once that recent story came out, but they are coming to work armed now. And when their employees get too crazy, when their employees start threatening violence or trying to commit acts of violence, they are popping them right then and there inside of McDonald's, inside the fast food restaurant, or whatever you want to call it. And now we have another one of these stories, a story that just went down at Wendy's. Once again, you got an employee acting unruly. Manager is arguing with the employee because they're not doing their job. They don't want to do this. They don't want to do that. Then it winds up in some sort of fight. Often these employees call their boyfriends or their mamas or their family members to come up to the job and jump the managers. It's gotten crazy. It's gotten crazy. The fact that we're sitting here right now today talking about more fast food violence should let you know how crazy things have gotten. And like I said, now we have a story involving a Wendy's manager who got into an argument with one of his employees. His employee decided to call someone up to the job to fight him, and he killed that person. The Wendy's manager killed that person right in the Wendy's parking lot. And this is why I've been telling people for the past few years, you got to be very careful, okay? When you pull into a Wendy's, when you pull into a Burger King, when you pull into a McDonald's, these have turned into little mini war zones. I know it sounds crazy to say, because when we were kids, we would go to these fast food restaurants to play on the playground. Now kids who are a little above playground age, 13, 14, and 15, they're bringing guns to McDonald's to fight their enemies. That's what's going on. We used to be in the ball pit that kind of smelled like doo-doo. We were, crawling around the sticky tunnels. Kids these days are up at the McDonald's with guns, having gang wars in the parking lot. So you got to be very careful. But before I go any further, I want to roll this news clip so you all can have a better understanding of what just went down at Wendy's, and then I'll be right back with more thoughts.
First guy shot it, he was screaming, but after a little minute, he just stopped moving.
New information tonight about a shooting at a Wendy's in southeast Memphis that left one man dead. The store's general manager has been officially charged with first-degree murder in this case.
We've also obtained shocking footage that shows the moment that deadly shot was fired. But we do need to warn you tonight, it is disturbing. Fox 13's Jack Bilyeu joins us live at Wendy's off of Winchester tonight. That's, in fact, where it all happened. Jack, why exactly did this happen?
Well, Darcy, according to court records, the GM was arguing with one of his female employees. Those records state that she wanted to leave early. Again, I want to warn you, this footage is disturbing, and we've edited out some of the most graphic moments.
Oh!
Cell phone video posted to social media shows the moment the deadly shot was fired. You can hear screaming, then the shooter stands over his fatally wounded victim and slaps him in the face. The victim died at the hospital. Memphis police say the shooter is Darrell Bowers, the general manager of the Wendy's. Court documents state Bowers was arguing with a female employee who wanted to leave early. He allegedly threatened to slap her, so she called a friend to pick her up. When that friend arrived, he and Bowers started fighting.
The person that got shot, he ended up swinging on the manager of the store, and the manager pulled out his gun and shot him. Well, he already had his gun in his hand, so.
The video shows Bowers walking towards the victim, gun in hand, before the victim throws a punch. A split second later, he fires a single shot. Our camera was rolling while Bowers was walked through the parking lot in cuffs.
That's honestly my first time seeing somebody get shot, so it's pretty shaking.
Well, the Wendy's franchise said in a statement it has a zero-tolerance policy for weapons at its stores. Bowers is set to be arraigned tomorrow morning.
So what say you guys? Do you think this is self-defense? I mean, the guy did punch the manager before he fired off a shot. But in my opinion, I don't know. When I look at situations like this, I feel really iffy about it. Sure, the man threw the first punch. I get it. But I feel like a part of self-defense, and when I say this, I don't even mean it like legally, like just in general, self-defense in general. I believe that the most important step to self-defense is putting yourself in a position to where you're not going to have to defend yourself, right? Like, what could that manager have done to put himself in a position to where he's not getting into a fist fight in the parking lot? As a Wendy's manager, I feel like you should have let that drama go on outside. You stay indoors, working with the rest of your employees, making double stack 4-for-4s or what have you. That's what you should do. Now, if the guy comes into the job and walks behind the counter and is trying to fight you and just shoot him, so be it. But as a Wendy's manager, I don't think you should be outside in the parking lot inviting, a dangerous situation, inviting trouble, waiting to fight one of your employees' friends or boyfriends. No, you're already putting yourself in a position that you shouldn't be in. And we could look at it like, yeah, he swung on him first, he hit him first, okay. But the manager shouldn't have been out there following up with that ratchet ghetto nonsense. But then again, a lot of these fast food managers are ratchet and ghetto themselves. So it's kind of like a recipe for disaster. But I mean, you just got to imagine how hard it is for these managers out here these days. Think about what they're dealing with. It's got to be next to impossible for these fast food managers to be dealing with these YNs today. You know what I mean? They're having to deal with these low impulse control, violent, low IQ people. And they're having to deal with them nonstop. They're having to try their best to get some sort of work out of them. And people wonder, how can we fix this problem? How can we solve this problem, right? But the answer to that question is so simple. You solve this problem by hiring better people. I don't know if you all have ever noticed this, but you don't see most of this ratchet ghetto stuff happening at Chick-fil-A. The Chick-fil-A employees are usually never rude, never ghetto, never ratchet. They don't try to fight you and shoot you over an extra sauce packet. They're not jumping across the counter, snatching out your weave over a napkin. Because Chick-fil-A handles themselves like they got some business about themselves. They don't have the ghetto ratchet managers in there. And they're not hiring a bunch of ghetto ratchet, lazy, no good for nothing employees. Most of Chick-fil-A's employees look a certain way. And then when you go to McDonald's, you go to Wendy's, you go to these other fast food restaurants, if you're not greeted by a kiosk, you're greeted by someone who absolutely does not want to be there. They look at you like they hate your guts, and they are very reluctant to help you with anything. So the only way to solve this problem is by hiring better people. And when you do that, you make things safer for your customers. You make things safer for your managers. And believe it or not, you make things safer for your other employees. And I think that fast food restaurants should get the memo, because if we're seeing this stuff go down, best believe they're aware of it. They need to get their ish together. Because I know that fast food, and I've said this before, I'll say it again, I know that we're not talking about 5-star restaurants here. We're not talking about the creme de la creme, the cream of the crop. But damn, it could be a hell of a lot better than what it is. And the people working there can act a hell of a lot better than what they do. So until these fast food restaurants decide to get their ish together, every couple of days we'll be here documenting all of the crazy acts of violence that happens at these establishments. So when you go to Wendy's, when you go to McDonald's, when you go to Burger King, be careful not to get caught in the crossfire. But with that being said, you guys let me know what you think down in the comments below. While you're down there, hit that thumbs up, hit that subscribe, ring that notification bell, and I'll talk to you all very soon in the next one.